throws for the end zone. Touchdown. Parker. Picked off by Xavier Howard. Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown. That's hard work.
What is good, Finn Nation? What's good? I was actually not going to be going live today or tomorrow because I realized I have Pens and Pucks tonight, and then I had the finish line tomorrow. And then this news breaks. Good God, Kyle Van Noy. Well, I mean, there's some contradicting reports out there, but for the most part, I think he's pretty much done because he posted something to his IG. Kyle Van Noy, 1 year into his 4-year, $51 million contract, has been cut or however you want to word it, released by the Miami Dolphins. Unbelievable stuff, guys. And there's a couple things now. If he is released like as of today, all right, it's about $9.5 million savings. If he's designated a post-June cut, it's about $12.5 million in savings. Like, let's hop right into it so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about. It started earlier. Cameron Wolf, we'll start off with him. Cameron Wolf around 12:57 said Dolphins Kyle Van Noy is a potential cap casualty who could be released before the league year begins. Sources tell ESPN. Talks are ongoing about releasing Van Noy in the coming days, a move that'll save Miami $9.7 million in cap space. Andrew Van Ginkel, AVG, would move into a larger role. Goes on to say Dolphins signed Kyle Van Noy to a 4-year, $51 million deal last offseason, but structured it so they could get out after 1 year. $15 million. His play was up and down in 2020. Would be a $4.125 million dead cap with release, but $12.5 million in cash savings. Kyle Van Noy, and then he updated. He said Kyle Van Noy hasn't been released yet, though, I'm told. Though his time in Miami does appear to be nearing an end, a trade or restructured deal is on the table as a potential option. Then what happened was Mike Garofalo reported, and he added a lot more context to the situation by posting what Kyle Van Noy posted. So it said the Dolphins have informed Kyle Van Noy he will be released. Sources say Cameron Wolf indicated that might be coming. It is confirmed. And then if you look here, this is a direct quote from Kyle Van Noy. He said, I'm surprised and disappointed in their decision. As a captain, I gave my all to the team. I fought through a painful hip injury during the season, including spending a night in the hospital after a game. I was brought there to be a leader, and I know my teammates looked up to and respected me. I am looking forward to making an impact on my next team on and off the field. So Cameron Wolf trying to say that, nothing's confirmed. I mean, that pretty much freaking confirms it. Kyle Van Noy is officially released and or cut, however you want to label it, by the Miami Dolphins. And you have to start wondering, is this because they want to pay X? Is this, first of all, there's the majority of Aaron Jones's money if anyone was worried. Second of all, forget Jones. Is this them trying to pay Xavier Howard? And then you saw this report here, Dolphins part ways with Kyle Van Noy, free up $12 million in cap. I can't believe it. I'm actually shocked. I didn't think he would be one of the first ones that would be hitting the bricks. But here we are, and, Kyle Van Noy, he had an up and down season. It wasn't that bad. I see you guys piling up in the back. I'll bring you on in just 1 second. 31 total pressures, 5 sacks, 4 hits, 22 hurries this year. 49 tackles and 14 assists. And that quote is now making its rounds. The one I just showed you. It's a tough one. A lot of people wanted to see him, and let's be honest with ourselves. I mean, whether you want to say it's because of injury or whatever the case, he started off rough this year, right? Like, if y'all remember, he was missing tackles. He was having serious issues, but then he started to get it together by the end there. Tough, man. Man, that's a and now you got to ask yourself too, is Micah Parsons or a Zavin Collins or a JOK, is that the play now at 18? Because I don't see these guys going out and spending crazy money on a linebacker, a la Levante David. So unbelievable stuff. Martin, Powerhouse, what's good, boys?
What's up, Reason?
What's shocked, up, bro? I'm shocked.
What's up, Power?
Yeah, I'm shocked too. I know you posed this question about Xavier Howard about division in the locker room. Do you think this move will cause division in the locker room?
That's a pretty good question, right? I don't think he's like entrenched. Like, I know he was a captain, but he's only there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, if it's to free up the money for X, what are people going to be able to say in the locker room? We're taking care of our guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the play is with the money. That's the problem. And I said yesterday, and then the next 2 weeks are going to be critical, because if they start cutting people and restructuring people, they're going to want to be players in free agency.
Yeah.
So if he's designated as a post June cut, that 9.7 million saving goes up to 12.5. So
let me tell you, yeah. First thoughts was wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he was literally one of those, defensive leaders and presence that people just naturally gravitated towards and respected. But I'm not gonna lie, man. If they're serious, like how you're saying about keeping X, I mean, this is clearly one of those moves to say, okay, we're gonna free up some room to go ahead and make our best player on defense happy, and replace a guy with the younger player. I assume, because running back and pass rushes are like interchangeable positions. Like, you can put anyone there, it'll pretty much sustain itself.
And I mean, let's be honest, it was the secondary that helped us win 10 games, not the linebacking core.
True.
You know what I mean? And we can sit here, we can speculate as to why, but when you see that his first year was worth $15 million, did Kyle Van Noy live up to $15 million?
Probably not.
No.
Maybe if the number was about like 8 to 10, then yeah. But 15, that's a little too rich.
Yeah, it's like Levante David money, right?
Yeah.
I need 100 tackles if I'm paying you $15 million at that position, bro.
AVG stats was kind of very similar to Kyle Van Noy too this year.
Yeah, and AVG, he's grown and developed under our coaching tutelage, and let's be honest, AVG flashes as a playmaker. Kyle Van Noy, when you talk about the playmaking aspect of it, I don't think he's nowhere near the playmaker that AVG can potentially be.
Yeah,
that's true.
And let me ask you this now. True. Let me ask you this. Do you bring back, because here's the thing. Hopefully Yem can join us. Me and him were talking when this went down. We have no depth at linebacker
at all.
Right.
True.
At all. So even though he did what he said what he said about Watson, are they in a position where now they have to bring back Vince Beagle?
I would double up in the draft.
Sorry, say again.
I would double up in the draft.
Man, I'm signing Denzel Perryman for $5 or $6 million now.
There's a lot of linebackers out
Yeah,
there.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
What
I
do
don't
you-
want to,
what-
if doubling up in the draft means I'm spending like a 5th or a 6th on another linebacker, cool. But like, I'm not trying to spend multiple picks in the first 4 rounds on linebacker.
Will you try to go make an offer for Hassan Reddick from the Cardinals? They're not going to resign him.
Because of
JJ
the
Watt.
yeah. But he had a really good season last year, didn't he?
Yeah, really good. He had like
Yeah,
I think 12 and a half sacks and like
You know,
one game he had like
pressures
5
or
sacks or
something
something like that.
So we're gonna be right back to paying a guy $15 million.
he might be a little bit more worth it than the playmaker side.
But
Yeah,
it's my fault. Go ahead, Reason.
No, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but I was saying it's a little tough to release a Kyle Van Noy because you can clearly see even when he was mic'd up, like the dude has leadership qualities. He has a calm about him that you can't quite coach, or you have to be naturally gifted of communicating. So he had great communication skills, but per the price, he wasn't making enough, like you're saying, impact plays to say, yeah, we can retain this contract and we'll benefit from it. So that it's a tough release, but I understand why.
And let me ask you this. Okay. Do you think they approached him about a restructure? Because I think they did. I don't think they just want to cut him.
Yeah,
they probably.
I agree.
So you know what that tells you? They reported him about a restructure. He said no. And then if that's what went down, kudos to Brian Flores, because we all know Van Noy's his boy, but he said, "Yo, this is a business piece, buddy."
Yeah,
they jazzed him, dog, from Fresh Prince. right out the front door, bro.
Gave him the Uncle Phil to Jazz treatment, huh?
I gotta be a Nets meme reason.
Say again.
Brian Flores tossing KVN out the door.
Yeah. I just, if that's what went down, then that's super, super. First of all, it's telling on Van Noy. Second of all, it lets us know that Flores, it ain't about friendships, it's about business.
I love it.
It's rough, man.
He's doing whatever it takes to get this team to the Super Bowl.
Right.
I don't know why people are so like frowned upon it. The Patriots and the Steelers been doing this forever. Once they have the replacement, of course that person in front of them is gone. They always do that with their old line. I don't really see it. I love the signing last year, but I'm not really like, upset about it. It is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, see, my thing too is like when you read his like little reply and stuff, it kind of comes off like he might have said no to a restructure and then he got released and now he's turning around and he's saying, "Oh, I spent a night in the hospital for this team." It's like he's trying to save face before it comes out that they asked him to because if you read the Cameron Wolf thing, he said a trade and restructure was still on the table as an option.
Probably declined it twice. Yeah.
Pulling the fits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, the thing is, I get he was a good leader, but like, I don't know if you guys remember in those first couple weeks, he was whiffing on some easy tackles.
Yeah.
Like, remember in the Patriots game, he totally whiffed on Cam coming up the left.
And he got ran over by Josh Allen.
Say that. He got ran over.
He got ran over. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No wonder they cut his ass.
I was trying to defend him, but
they said you're not gonna restructure, bro. You got ran over by Josh Allen. Get the bomba cloud out of here, bro. Yo, what up, Justin?
This offseason getting pretty crazy already.
What's up, man?
Yo, what do you think about this, bro?
I think it's kind of along the lines of what we're talking about as far as seeing them making some purges and some moves. I'm kind of surprised because I thought maybe he would be one of the team leaders to restructure. But, hey, just like you just said, you don't want to restructure, go ahead and hit the road. You're out of here. You don't want to win a championship then.
Yeah. I agree, man. And, like, that kind of shows where he's at in terms of at the end of the day, he gives a fuck about his money, not about us winning.
Yep.
Say what you want. Okay, here we go. We have an update from Cameron Wolf. Oh, boy, I just saw this. Let's bring it up for y'all to see. Reason might have been on to something. So it says right here, I'm told a pay cut was discussed with Kyle Van Noy, who's prepared to move on. Trade options still being explored, but release coming if none found. His tenure in Miami was short-lived. More cap space for Dolphins to use in free agent. A good draft for versatile linebackers too. So there you go.
Yep.
Exactly.
There.
Mhm.
He said,
Wow.
nope. That's what. And then this guy says, I spent a night in the hospital for this team. What a jabroni trying to save face, bro. Bro, this guy goes on about how he's a bro. Yeah, here's the thing, Powerhouse. He's trying to guilt trip us. While in the same breath talking about how good of a leader he is, and then minutes later, this comes out that they asked him to take a pay cut or restructure, and he said no.
That means you're not that good of a leader if you don't
know
want
what
to
I mean?
take a pay cut and restructure. Then just get the hell out of here.
Yeah, especially when we gave you $15 million of your 51 in the first year.
Not only that, but he missed games due to injury as well. So he doesn't have a
true.
And is it really unfair to ask him restructure when, like I said, Justin, because now you're here, did we get $15 million worth of him at a linebacker position? Because I said to these other guys, if I'm paying you $15 million, I want 100 tackles in a season, bro.
Not only that, but you got to play every game if I'm paying you that, man. I need the best ability is availability. So you need to be consistently on the field.
Yeah. Like, that's Levante David. That's Levante David money. That's what, like, Levante David's about to make, 15, 16 mil.
Hell, I take Levante David right now over him. The production's going to be twice what we got.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And George, we saved $9.75 million, but if he's designated as a post-June cut, we saved $12.5 million. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Damien, what's good, homie?
What's good? Fins up, everybody. Fins
What's up,
up.
Dame?
Give your thoughts, bro.
Dame Dollar.
I was surprised to see it. I'm assuming from this cut, I mean, we're gonna address some needs that we need in free agency as far as the running back and possibly the center position, and nail the two best available players in that position. My only thing is that 18th pick. I mean, at least they have something else that's planned. I mean, I don't see why it won't go to Zavin Collins or Michael Parsons falls to us. Because I mean, we're gonna need to address this need. But Van Noy was, a very important part of his defense as far as leadership or whatever. But I don't know what went on behind the scenes and why Flores and Greer felt they needed to, move on from that. I trust our coaches.
Did you see what I just posted?
Oh no, I just came on, brother.
So it just came out about 20 minutes ago that they asked him to basically restructure, and he said no.
No. Okay, well, I understand. Kick rocks. I mean, hey, do what's best for you.
No, but you know what you didn't see because you just joined. I'll show you this. Okay, so it just came out. Cameron Wolf reported like 19 minutes ago that they asked him to take a pay cut. He said no. And basically, they're trying to find a trade partner. If they can't, they're going to release him, right? If they release him right away, $9.5 million. If they designate him as a post-June, you save $12.5 million. But check this. Okay, look at what he said. I'm surprised and disappointed in the decision. As a captain, I gave my all to the team. I fought through a painful hip injury during the season, including spending a night in the hospital after a game. I was brought there to be a leader, and I know my teammates looked up to me and respected me. I'm looking forward to making an impact on my next team on and off the field. And this came out before it officially came out that he wouldn't restructure.
Wow.
So he's talking about how he's a leader. He's trying to guilt trip us with he spent a night in the hospital.
Sounds like damage control to me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can miss me with that crap.
He led ABG to the starter role. That's what he did. Led ABG to the starter.
Yeah, really. You know what I mean? And ball game could go back because that's ball game's boy. Not this year, but last year when he came back in that Jets game, right? And he had that huge sack on third down or on second down. It was on third down. It was on third down. It led to a fourth down, and then Needham took the pass interference. That game, I was like, yo, this kid, I see playmaker in this kid. And, I'll make this argument. Sorry, I'll let you go, Damien, after this. Kyle Van Noy is a good linebacker, but AVG, his trajectory is going up right now. But also, I think he's a way better playmaker than what we would have ever got from Kyle Van Noy.
You
True.
just read my mind. I mean, to be honest, AVG was a better playmaker than Kyle Van Noy. And if you take away the deficiencies from Jerome Baker, as far as, as far as what he's good at, he's a bit more bigger playmaker than Van Noy. Van Noy, I mean, the leadership, yeah, you can't deny that, the veteran leadership, yeah, but what is he worth the money? No, I mean, I have no problem with us moving on from Kyle Van Noy. He's not going to make or break this defense.
Yeah. And I saw someone, I posed a question. Does this confirm Zavin or Parsons if he slides? And someone says, oh, well, that's not really a good comparison. Okay, I get that Zavin's not the good comparison, but Parsons kind of is because he can move all around the defense like Kyle Van Noy could if you needed him to. He can set the edge. Yeah, he can set the edge. He can pass rush. You might be able to say, okay, Van Noy's a little bit better in coverage than him, but is he really that better in coverage than him? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
And Parsons is kind of an upgrade because he's far more athletic.
Yeah.
So question, reason, because I just want to make sure I got this totally. Okay, so I just want to make sure I run over. Where was Van Noy mostly positioned at this season in our defense?
He was mostly positioned. He had a few games he had one game at will. And then basically switched between left outside and right outside. So, but he had one game at right. He had one game as a will, and then every other game left outside.
Because I'm about to get to something here. Because if that's the case, Ben, does this change our approach that we can look at this outside linebacker where if it is a Browning or a JOK
or Parsons?
To that aspect. Does this change everything now where we can just now take the best talent available at that position now that, Van Noy is gone? Because, I mean, we still have to fill the void anyway. So it's now JOK back in play. And a Browning from Ohio State is now all those players now in play.
And Browning was at the Senior Bowl too, right?
Yeah, it was at the Senior Bowl. It looked damn good. And even though it was a blowout in that national title game, he was popping up on the screen. He's been doing that all this year, but
and don't forget my boy I keep mentioning from Texas, Joseph Asai.
Yeah, Joseph Asai. Yes.
As a stand-up outside guy in this
changes
defense.
this gives us more flexibility in the draft on we don't have to just key in on one position in the linebacker in the linebacker position. We don't have to just key on one slot. Like now, this opens things up. Will we do? I mean, I don't think JOK is going to be there at 18, but this just opens a lot of things up. Because Browning will be there. Because Browning will be there if somebody moves up.
That's high though.
Yeah, but he's considered late first round. But this is my thing.
Browning?
Yeah, like late first round, early second.
Wow.
This is my thing.
I wouldn't take him in the first.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is this. It just opens up a lot of things, with a Browning, a Joseph Asai, all just in case if Michael Parsons goes off the board, JOK goes off the board, Zavin Collins goes off the board. This opens up now where we don't have to be hard pressed, to panic in this position if it's a run on him or if our guy goes off the board, because this opens everything up now.
Yeah. My only issue though is kind of like the receiving core, we have no depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but
before Kyle Van Noy, we had no depth, before we cut him.
But this is a pretty deep linebacker class. So, I mean, there's a lot of late round depth that you can add.
But as far as
but we're in a position where what are we going to take? 3 of them?
Yeah. And as far as
you could still sign one from free agency, probably like you said, a Denzel Perryman that shores up the middle. Then you can maybe address a stand-up rusher or something like that. And why not Jabril Cross in round 3?
Yeah, we're real thin at linebacker, man. We don't have nothing behind nobody inside or outside unless someone like Render's going to take the next step.
Yeah.
There's a plan in place, though. There's a plan in place. I honestly believe they can easily go after, since they got rid of such a huge contract, they can go after a guy like Anthony Walker Jr. from the Colts, who's massively underrated as a stand-up linebacker who can generate pressure as well, good leadership as well. He's from Miami. Miami should have a plan in place. When it comes to making this type of move. Obviously, in the draft, it's unpredictable as far as who can potentially fall to you. But free agency has some decent linebackers where you can just fill that void and you won't skip a beat. But drafting players for depth is going to be important.
I have a question that I
Hold on a
posed.
sec. Hold on a
Okay.
sec. Hold on a sec.
Mhm.
I want to share this first. All right, let's rock this. All right, so this is just released.
Yeah, and this transaction, which Mike, of course, reported, I would not expect today because the Miami Dolphins are still going to try to trade Kyle Van Noy to someone, potentially to the Patriots. There's a couple other Patriots themed teams out there that maybe could use the linebacker. Tennessee Titans would be one potentially as well. The contract is tough. It's a lot of money, especially in this climate with the cap lower. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I would expect the Dolphins to at least try to trade him and get something for him before outright releasing him. So going to get a new team. Just remains to be seen how the transaction will be processed.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
I take a 7th rounder.
Yeah, for that contract.
I mean, that's the best because we already exposed our hands. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the question I pose to y'all: is that okay? Us releasing him when we release him, I might be wrong. Does it make sense? I don't see us going after this linebacker to fill that void in free agency. I mean, as far as the top tier linebackers like a Levante David, no one because the age is the same.
Yeah.
So wouldn't I think that I'm gonna address this in a draft, and it has to be either pick 18 between 18 and 50, because the drop off is a drop off. So we need to address this from 18 to 50. And whereas though, I mean, even though I want one of the top 3 receivers, and my top 3 is probably the same as Reason as far as the 2 Bama receivers and Bateman, then more. But isn't it a better chance that you can draft a receiver late in the draft and still putting and develop into that starting position compared to linebacker going in late?
There's mad linebackers.
It is, but
get a linebacker late to mid too, though, to fill that hole as well.
And that's why I said with pick 50. But I'm talking about it's a better chance you can wait a little later with the receiver position. As far as
doesn't this help us? Like, oh, go ahead, my bad.
I was gonna say for Damian, like if you do that as far as waiting for that receiver in day 2 or day 3, my biggest thing is normally when teams allow receivers to fall to them in day 2 or day 3 is because they have a really, really good receiving coach.
Oh, I never said that. I'm so sorry to cut you. I just want to make sure that everybody understands what I'm saying. I'm not saying neglect the receiver position. I'm all for getting this receiver in the first round. I'm all for that. Or in early in the side. I'm just saying that it's definitely a need that we're going to have to invest definitely between that 18 and that 50, definitely in the linebacker, and maybe it's more of a likely chance if I'm misunderstanding this that we're going to probably have to vet multiple picks within our first from that pick 8 from that 18th to that 81. I'm just asking that.
Yeah,
I'm just asking that because now we've created another void in the linebacker position. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm just trying to get a grasp of this.
Right. Okay.
But I'm not saying neglect. I'm all for it. How everybody I feel about DVP with his injuries.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I was saying, man, if we're gonna not take a receiver in the first round or the top of the second round, I would just hope that we have a solid coaching staff for the receivers, because I'm just saying that's clearly one of our biggest needs on this team heading into this offseason. So this is an untimely release, but like I said, I'm pretty sure Chris Greer, Flores got a plan, as far as acquisitions and things. So let's see what happens.
Do you guys think this solidifies us getting Aaron Jones in free agency? That way we can use that 18 pick instead of getting Najee, getting a linebacker?
Well, I mean, that's what I said it earlier. I mean, this is most of your Aaron Jones money freed up.
Yeah. I think they're doing it also to get another possibly a Corey Lenz. I think this is to get 2 big free agents. The way it's looking.
We need more cut, right?
Oh, what? Yeah, well,
Grant coming soon.
Yeah,
Wilson
coming
cut
soon.
next.
Let's say again.
Isn't that probably coming soon? We're assuming that, not saying maybe an Albert Wilson or maybe a Jakeem Grant, or we know Godchild's going to come off the books, things like that. Aren't we assuming that it's
Fitzpatrick?
It's more players to come?
Well, those guys are already off the books, right? Fitzpatrick's already off the books.
Yeah, and Godchild, his contract's up, so he's going to be
he's
gone.
off. He's already off the books now.
It's a Grant, it's a Wilson.
Yep. What do they want to do with Bobby? Which I think they should keep him.
They should keep. I mean, I don't.
You need to restructure or trade Eric Flowers.
Yeah, if we get rid of Bobby McCain, that's putting us in a serious hole. In a serious hole.
I don't think they'll get rid of him though.
Bobby McCain seemed like a person who was structured though.
Yeah, you're talking about putting one of our corners now. One of our slack corners, you're talking about developing them now in free safety in this short period of time. Yeah, it can happen, but we're going to have to go through that growth process. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't make sense at all.
And Bobby really took a leap last year.
Yeah, man. He's coming to his own. I just don't see that. I mean, just because it sounds good, but I could be wrong.
Esteban, what are your thoughts on the whole thing, bro?
I'm shocked, bro, to be honest. I'm kind of shocked.
I know you're a linebacker guy too, right?
Yeah, I know he's kind of older. He was kind of intermittent with his consistency. Just like how you pointed out at the beginning of the season. I remember you were doing a stream and you pointed something out that I also saw where he was out of position on the play, and we were kind of all upset about how they we started off. I guess we lost our first 3 games. He was a little inconsistent at times, to be honest. I mean, I did like him, but I think you can still upgrade. There's some young guys out there. You got Jaylen Brown, he's 26 as a free agent
in Tennessee.
Yeah, you got Reuben Foster, who's 26. You might be able to get him on the cheap because he's kind of like a head case.
Precisely. That's exactly what I was thinking.
That guy never lived. I had so much hopes when he got drafted, and that guy just has not lived up to what he was supposed to be.
He's on the team.
But my concern is depth. In a 3-4, you need hella guys, and I thought we would at least get 2. But it never crossed my mind that we would get rid of somebody, unless they're cool with Vince Beagle, coming back but dependability is my thing.
Well, I pose that question. Does Vince Beagle come back after that controversy he stirred up?
Yeah.
Over the Deshaun Watson stuff? So, because remember, he posted Deshaun Watson in a jersey swap with the Dolphins, and then he deleted the tweet.
And also, isn't Atlantic Roberts' contract up and Gruger Hill?
Oh yeah. Yes.
So that's 2 more backers.
They're going to keep. I think they're going to keep Atlantic Roberts.
I think he's hurt though, pretty bad, and they're talking about maybe he might have a career-ending injury when he got hurt.
Who, Landon?
Oh
yeah,
man.
Roberts.
Really? That's the Raiders. Yeah.
This is very
it did look bad.
This is very interesting. So now you're talking about.
You might want to go get Reuben Foster then. Why not?
I want Denzel Perryman.
I don't want to interrupt anybody on Foster, but I was super high on Reuben Foster.
So was I, bro.
Yeah, same.
I remember we drafted Charles Harris, and I broke down a door in my house and ripped it out of the house.
I was too. I was so bad.
I was pissed too, man.
Right there.
Bro, he's 26, man. He might still pan out. My thing with Perryman is I think he's older. I think he's 30? But a lot of these guys are kind of older, I don't know, man.
So does that KJ Wright rumor mean anything now?
Maybe.
Yeah.
From Seattle?
Yeah. Does that hold merit now? Because that was a rumor.
Well, they draft his replacement.
Yeah, Jordan Brooks.
I mean, they ain't panned out. He hasn't panned out.
Reason, what do you think about maybe like a KJ Wright?
I wouldn't mind. It's just how much money is he going to ask for? That's all. I liked him
You
in
could get him
Seattle.
for like half the money you could got Van Noy for.
Remember, he almost had 2 interceptions. He
He
had that
shined
one,
on
and then he
us.
almost got almost got like the second. Dude, the guy almost had like 3 interceptions on Fitz. Remember
Yeah,
that?
he shined on us, bro.
Yeah.
God, no.
And in terms of Denzel Perriman, Denzel
He
Perriman
showed out
right
on
now-
us too.
True.
Yeah, Denzel Perriman right now is 28. You know, he I think he only missed like 3 games last season. The thing is, the guy hits like a Mack truck.
Yep.
He's stout in the run game, and he's way better in coverage than Raekwon McMillan ever was. And my thing is, the guy's only going to cost like $5 or $6 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking at. If we're going to start adding pieces to the linebacking core in free agency, to me, they got to be on the cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know people are
Yeah,
talking about
he's gonna be cheap.
people are talking about like Matt Judon. Matt Judon might be a little expensive.
He's going to be.
What about
Very
Brown
expensive.
from Tennessee? How much you think he's gonna come in?
More than Perriman.
Yeah, for sure. Because what? Like after you get to
He's
past
26.
Levante, and after you get past Levante David, you can make the argument that he's one of the best linebackers in this class in terms of the free agency class.
Mhm.
So I don't
well.
know. I don't know, man. Like I am actually okay. My whole thing here is my issue is we don't have the depth. Like they better have a plan in place. Like I
They
mean, I
have to.
don't
They
know
have-
what else to say. They better have something good in place because you know we are not the most deep. Well, we've gone over it, right? We're not very
True.
deep.
Truthfully, reason, man, I've literally placed all my faith and trust in Chris Greer and Brian Flores based off of how well they've managed this rebuild, bro. So any type of moves they do until proven otherwise, I'm like, oh, you know, I guess that's exactly what needed to be done, you know. So
Yeah, and Jayon Brown, he's not really a Van Noy replacement, right? He's more of he's played will or middle. He's not really like, you know, look at all the snaps at left outside linebacker, and the left outside linebacker for us is standing up most of the time, right?
Yeah.
mhm.
And that's where Van Noy was like, we need a stand-up guy. Even Perriman isn't, you know, he doesn't fill that void.
But we don't
just
have,
made
we
an
don't have
extra
anything in
void.
the middle either. We don't
Yeah,
have.
we just created an extra void. You're right.
And I got to say to Johnny Bravo, he said they didn't just cut Van Noy, a good locker room guy, for no reason. I mean, can we sit here and say he's a good locker room guy when we find out that they approached him about a restructure and he basically said no?
True.
I'm sure he got along with guys, but at the end of the day, what seemed money was more important than winning.
In the Van Noy camp, yeah.
And I don't know, man. This is we've now put ourselves in a position where filling this out has like quickly. Oh man, we've created a need. I think.
Yeah.
That's my issue.
Yeah.
We have, brother.
And
We
really,
have.
we only needed depth in a middle linebacker. Now we need another guy. We need more depth because I think they're going to give a lot of the snaps to AVG. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's going to be an accelerated role, and that's going to be a lot of responsibility out the rip for AVG. I hope he's ready for it.
Imagine if we take Micah Parsons at 3.
Wow.
That'll be
No
great.
way.
No way.
Just saying.
No, we
Nah.
can't do that. We still have a bigger
No,
void at right
he's not even
tackle.
good. And he's not going in the top 10, bro. All right, yo, EM's here.
After what he done.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, EM?
man?
Fins up, brother.
What's up, yeah? Shine that flashlight.
EM must be on that mute.
You got Parker as a screen.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess he's trying to hint at something. Oh, there he is. Yo, what's good, EM?
Gotta stay in.
What's going on? What's going on, gentlemen?
Fins up.
Bro.
What's up?
Bombshells, man.
Okay, I want to show you a few things because you just came in here a little bit late because I'm guessing you haven't had a chance to see this. Okay, so he posted this. This is what Van Noy posted, bro. And I actually, when I read it, I said, yo, is this guy like trying to save face right now? Check this one out. So he posts this. He says, I'm surprised and disappointed in their decision. As a captain, I gave my all to the team. I fought through a painful hip injury during the season, including spending a night in the hospital after a game. I was like, why are you including that? You're trying to like guilt. Anyways, he's like, I was brought there to be a leader, and I know my teammates looked up to and respected me. I'm looking forward to making an impact on my next team on and off the field. Then, literally minutes later, this came out from Cameron Wolf, and he said, I'm told a pay cut was discussed with Kyle Van Noy, who is prepared to move on. Trade options still being explored, but release coming if none found. His tenure in Miami was short-lived. More cap space for Dolphins to use in free agency. A good draft for versatile linebackers, too. So they approached him, and he said no.
Chris Greer probably saw that and said, oh, for real? Cameron, drop this real quick.
Yeah. What do you think about this whole situation, EM?
I'm surprised, to be honest with you, on many levels. The fact that, because see, I see it from both sides. I can understand where he's coming from. You know, it's the first year of this big deal. You know, and you're immediately trying to shake him down after 1 year. I can understand him being in his feelings, but at the same time, from a Dolphin standpoint, is two things. Number one, he was too in and out of the lineup, inconsistent this year for us. And I think that was, you know, you can attribute that to him being, you know, not completely healthy. Mm-hmm. And number two, we all saw the growth and the development, and we saw, you know, from Andrew Van Ginkel in particular the second half of the season. So he was much more impactful player. You saw him being deployed in a lot on how they use Kyle Van Noy. So the Dolphins are looking at it like this. I think what prompted the initial attempt to shake him down was the fact that you have a player on his rookie deal that's, number one, he's a better athlete than Kyle Van Noy ever was. Two, he's performing at a higher level, and he's going to assume a bigger role next year. So why would you want to maintain that level of, in terms of cap dollars, tied to a player that's inconsistent due to injury or whatever you want to say it? The inconsistency was there. Mm-hmm. So, you know, but I see it from both sides. I'm disappointed because I'm a big Kyle Van Noy guy. I liked him. I thought, you know, going back to last year's free agency, you know, I was out ahead of a lot of people in projecting him to our team. I thought he, you know, just the New England ties and his presence, you know, his ability as a player, I thought it would be extremely beneficial for us this year. But we just didn't get as much of a return on that investment that we that we were looking for. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to.
I got to ask you, Yem, just personally, what do you think when you read that statement he makes and then Cameron Wolf comes out and says, yeah, they approached him about a pay cut and he basically said no? Like, does that kind of, you know, does that that info coming out from Cameron kind of, you know, invalidate his whole leader thing? Because wouldn't a leader take that pay cut because they say we're on the precipice of something special here?
Well, you can definitely look at it from that standpoint. But again, I see it from both sides, bro.
And we paid him $15 million guaranteed in the first year, so we gave him bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think I think something else is coming down the pipeline, bro. I truly believe that. I've had a chance. I mean, it's only two options, in my opinion. And I know this is going to make people uncomfortable, but obviously the Deshaun Watson scenario is still on the table. I think that story has not died down. I don't think it's going anywhere until he signs with another team. That's number one. Number two, it's either they're going to use those additional cap dollars to be, you know, just do a repeat of what they did last year in terms of their aggression in attacking free agency. So it's only two options on the table. So with that being said, bro, something is big. Well, it's not coming. It's already here. Because I think this plan has been in place for a while. It's just, you know, due to, you know, it being closer to free agency is next week, bro. It will in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's here. So this plan has been in place, and the execution part of it, this is what we're seeing now. It's just something is here, something big is here. It's just those two options, in my opinion. What's on the table?
We talked about it privately, EM, today after this happened. I gotta ask you this: does this, like, does this weaken our defense right now today? And B, could we, in terms of depth wise at the linebacker position, is this a move we could afford?
Well, we talked about this, privately, obviously. I think the move to make, and I told you this has been my solution all along, is to free Emmanuel Ogbah up and deploy him primarily as an edge player. Now, how you do that, you have to address, you bring in a true zero, or you can bring in another 3. But that's the solution right there, because he's going to offset a lot of what Van Noy did on the edge if you do that. And then Van Noy, in terms of the versatility, playing in that off-the-ball stack linebacker role, that a lot of what Van Noy brought, Van Ginkel can bring that for you. We saw it stretches this year. The Oakland game, you saw it in Buffalo. So you saw it as stretches this year. And again, they want to continue. He's going to have a big role, and he should, because he earned it on the field. So in terms of now depth-wise, player, body-wise, yeah, it's gonna put us at somewhat of a disadvantage. But in terms of his production, I think you can offset that with the scenario I brought up with Emmanuel Ogbah and as well as Andrew Van Ginkel. Now, they can, I think linebacker will be a target in this draft early, I think, because, there's several players that fit that criteria that the Dolphins require. What they prioritize from the linebackers. We all know these players. We've been talking about them for months now. So I think, they'll address that position early in the draft. So, but again, like I said, in terms of production, if you make those 2 moves, Kyle Van Noy pretty much won't be missed, in my opinion.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, because I posted to the other guys up here, brother, now, even though he said what he said about Deshaun Watson, deleted the tweet and all that, posted the picture of him in a jersey swap, are you in a position where you have to seriously consider bringing Vince Biegel back?
Well, I think, we know, let's go back to last year, Reason. You saw all indications at the beginning of this year, the Dolphins, he was going to have a significant role in his defense. But again, his Achilles injuries prevented that from happening. But I would think they would be more inclined to bring him back, because I think Vince Biegel, his skill set, he's very similar to Kyle Van Noy. We highlighted that at the beginning of the season on one of our shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's a big gamble. A player playing the linebacker position, coming off an Achilles injury. Now, I think the Dolphins will be inclined to bring him back, but you don't just automatically make the assumption that, okay, we're bringing Vince Biegel back and we're done there. No. You have to bring, because that's a big gamble you're taking on a player coming off an Achilles injury, playing linebacker. So I thought I was all in. I like Vince Biegel as a player. Again, he hasn't been as impactful as Kyle Van Noy in his career, but he hasn't had the opportunities. But I like his skill set. But I would be more inclined to bring him back. That Tua stuff, bro. If you're gonna bring production for me. We're all players, 53 men on this roster, right? We don't all have to be best friends. I'm sure y'all can hear that. Hang on, man. Let me mute this real quick while this
can't hear anything.
goes away.
Yeah,
you can't really?
No.
Really? Okay. So, we don't all have to be best friends on this. We don't have to be buddy. We don't have to eat dinner at each other's homes. No. If you're giving me production on the field, I'm not worried about what pictures you posted about whom or whatever. I'm not worried about that.
I gotta ask you this. Is Brian Flores and Greer officially cold-blooded by just, I mean, you said, Van Noy is Flores' boy, and now we see that he said no to a restructure. They said, oh, no, bye-bye.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. And it goes back to again, this might make people feel a little uncomfortable, even when the pulling Tua out of those 2 games when he wasn't playing up to standard, I loved it, because that sent a message that no player is above the team. I don't care what position you have. You either get it done or you don't. And if you don't, we're going to get somebody in here that will. I love that message. They should put frame that somehow, put that on the wall. They probably do have something similar to that, I'm sure. But the fact that he's able to move away from his friend, move away from his boy so quickly, you know what I mean? I love it. I love it. Get it done, period. Get it done. So that's going to create that culture of that sense of urgency and keep it there. You know what I mean? Everybody has to, bro, you have to perform. You have to perform. So whether it's due to injury or just lack of performance on the field, everybody will be held accountable. And I love that, bro. Absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take a linebacker in the first or second and then come back on day 3 and get another one in the 5th and beyond now?
I think that was a part of the plan regardless, bro. I think, it's 2 or 3 of these players that just fit everything that the Dolphins require, that they prioritize at that position. And also they're better athletes, at the same time. Because generally, if you look at a typical New England type of linebacker at that position, they're not generally your better athletes, athletically from a speed standpoint. But there's 2 or 3 players in this draft that I think Brian Flores could fall in love with. They're giving you the versatility. They're giving you the aptitude. And also they just happen to be uber athletes at the same time. So I think it's 2 or 3 players that Brian Flores could potentially fall in love with that he identified even before this Kyle Van Noy situation. I think that was already a part of their draft strategy, to be honest with you.
Like Ohio State's Baron Browning, who's an outside linebacker, and I thank God I put him near the top 5 in my list. And he's Jesus, and they had their hands on him at the Senior Bowl, right?
Absolutely.
Just like a guy who y'all know I love quietly, Jabril Cox from LSU. They had their hands on him at the Senior Bowl, right?
Absolutely.
And these are, I don't see Baron Browning going before the 2nd or the 3rd. And Jabril Cox, probably the same thing, 3rd, 4th, maybe. These are guys that you could bring in and plug in, and they're not going to be breaking the bank in terms of draft capital. So
and again, Kyle Van Noy is 30. He'll be 30 when the season starts. Could it be reason to be honest with you? Because this snap count down the season. I'm sorry, the second half of the season, kind of diminished. Could it be that they see these players 6 days a week?
Maybe that hip injury was worse than he's letting on to believe.
Exactly. And could it be it contributed to his, obviously, if you got a hip injury at that position, bro, it's going to take away your athleticism. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
So they could have seen him they see him for 6 days a week, bro. And they're like, oh, bro, come on, man. You're just not the player that we thought we were getting when we gave you this contract last year.
And you know what I love, DM? Because, even going back to last offseason when we started this, I'm a big proponent of front loading and then you can get out of it. Look what happened. They front loaded his contract so they could get out 4 years, but they gave himself an out after 1.
Absolutely.
Like smart, man.
Absolutely. Again, bro, I love Kyle Van Noy. I like him. But at the end of the day, for whatever reason, it could be health. We just didn't get a return, as big of a return on that investment. And again, you have to evaluate this game unfortunately from a business standpoint at this level. And if you're not getting, you make that kind of investment in that player, you know what I mean? And in and out of the lineup, inconsistency. And even when he played, he wasn't that impactful player we saw in New England. Could that be to age? It could be his age, just natural age and attrition. It could be due to the injury. Whatever the reason is, there were inconsistencies there. And Brian Flores, I'm sure when they looked at the tape, you look at the tape, I look at the tape, they see it. So they're like, nah, bro, look, they tried to shake him down. He said no, which I understand where he's coming from. His first year of this deal. And but at the end of the day, it's a business and they opted to move on. That speaks volumes, though, Reason. Again, back to what I said. The fact that you think you're better with eating that dead money, okay? You're better with cutting him and moving on, right? And eating that dead money as opposed to keeping him, as opposed to, him being on a roster. You know what I'm saying? That speaks volumes, bro. And again, the lack of depth is an issue. So
Yeah.
just saying, speaks volumes. So,
And
but
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I like the player, but I love the approach that this organization, this front office has.
Mhm.
It's nothing personal, bro. It's all business, baby.
And I said this, we paid him $15 million in the first year. Man, if I'm paying any linebacker $15 million, I need 100 tackles, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I need
Yeah.
you to flirt
Yeah.
with 100, 110. Like,
Yeah.
good God.
Yeah.
And we talked about it before you joined. Go to the Patriots game. The guy was whiffing on tackles. His angles were bad. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, he wasn't setting the edge very well.
Right. Again, who knows the reason why, but the fact of the matter is you can't get by his inconsistent tape, bro.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yep, the tape don't lie.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And
True.
Barry Jackson just dropped this article. He said, in the first surprising move of the Miami Dolphins offseason, the team released linebacker Kyle Van Noy on Tuesday, parting ways with one of the key pieces of the defense that allowed the 6th fewest points in the league last season. A league source confirmed the move, which has not been announced by the team. The move saves Miami $9.8 million in cap space, raising the Dolphins' available cap to about $36 million. Now, if they designate him as a post-June cut, they save $12.5 million. But the Dolphins take a 4.1 dead money hit in cutting him. Back to what EM said, if they're comfortable with doing that, they had to have seen something with the player, the hip, that was like, yeah, we don't trust you going into your 30s here, right? So it says, according to a source, the Dolphins never broached the possibility of a restructured deal. But then I showed what Cameron Wolf said when they went and asked him to take a pay cut. So it could have saved $7.6 million in cap space. They simply wanted to move on from him and have so you got two conflicting reports between Barry Jackson and Cameron Wolf. And then it goes on to his little statement where he cried. So goes on about how Pro Football Focus had him rated as 26 of 83 qualifying linebackers, 24th against the run. One negative, he allowed 20 of 22 passes in his coverage area to be caught for 233 yards, which equates to a 110.8 passer rating. Definitely, if I'm paying you $15 million, I need better in coverage.
From a staff that prioritizes coverage.
Yeah. So, and remember, a source said that there is some support inside the Dolphins to clearing out cap space to be aggressive in free agency. This move would help accomplish that, but it also leaves the Dolphins diminish that linebacker. So, you know what I mean? It says here, Miami has 2021 starters with Jerome Baker. Oh, my God. Andrew Van Ginkel, Shaq Lawson, but at least needs one, if not two, additional starting caliber players. And then it says here, Van Ginkel could assume a larger role as an edge player now. But Miami needs another starting inside linebacker to replace free agent Landon Roberts. And Justin, you made a good point. Can you make that again? Because EM wasn't here about what you heard after the Raiders game regarding Landon Roberts.
I heard that the injury could be career threatening, and that might hamper him being re-signed to the Dolphins. Also, to make another point on what you guys are talking about Andrew Van Ginkel, I'm sure everybody, if you know me, know I'm a really big Andrew Van Ginkel guy, and maybe the move cutting Van Noy has got a little bit to do with Andrew Van Ginkel going to be taking the next step, as you just read right there. They're going to probably take him into a larger role with the pass rushing, and he can do it all, so he can do a little bit more to fill the role. And I think it might be more of the younger players stepping up to get more of those snaps that Van Noy just wasn't producing in.
Do we have a player on this roster over 30 right now?
Nope.
Nope.
No, I think closest would be Jesse Davis. I think he's like 28, maybe 29.
Your boy Jesse Davis?
Yeah, my boy Jesse Davis.
Yo, no one remembers that. Yo, these guys don't know. I gotta tell that story, bro. Yo, Justin.
Should.
Yo, you tell the story, bro. Yo, Justin and Jesse Davis, if people don't know, a couple months ago, like literally like 2 or 3 months ago, went back and forth on Twitter at each other, bro. It was classic. Yo, tell them the story, Justin.
Jesse Davis.
It's pretty classic. It goes down to where I was breaking down film and I watched. You know me, I'll go watch a lot of it, and I was watching special teams plays of him, like just half-ass effort doing field goal blocks, and I called him out on it, and he sent me a message being like, hey, you pro scouts got to be a little bit more easy on me. And then he started talking shit. And then I sent him a personal message like, hey, you baby little bitch, you just need to block better and move your feet. Stop being a pussy. And he sent me back a message like, hey, dude, same team. It's cool. I was just kidding with you. And I'm like,
and I saw them all, bro. He sent me the DMs, bro. Oh, my God.
Wow. That's crazy.
I got pissed at him like, you need to pluck and play better or fucking get off the team. But I think
funny.
he could be the next one cut, too. I mean, shit, you never know.
I like Jesse Davis as a depth piece.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I
As a
do
swing
too.
tackle,
I
I love him as a swing tackle, but he was a disaster at guard, bro. Oh,
Yeah, him and Robert Hunt were just out of place last year, man.
oh
That's
my
all.
God. And what's crazy
Yeah.
is people sleep on how good he was on those 2 games we had him at left tackle.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, that's where he impressed me and played left tackle.
yeah.
I wonder what's the next bombshell to drop.
Jakeem Grant.
Is that a bombshell?
No.
But there's going to be celebrations across every social
Party
media
and
platform, bro.
Confetti just in the air.
Bro, that's not exactly. That's not a bombshell, bro.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more along
The
the
next
lines
one
of
to go will be Shaq Lawson.
Ooh.
No.
I don't think they can afford it, but
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I might have
I like Shaq Lawson. I mean,
I'd get rid of Shaq Lawson right now for that cap room.
the money is what I don't like.
the
I
money
just don't like
cap
the
it.
money he's getting paid.
Well, I mean, I get it, but see, a lot of what Shaq Lawson does, you can't record in a box score.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I love his ability to set the edge, which is the number one priority with this team. You know what I mean? He's not the dynamic pass rusher. He's not the dynamic athlete, but he's just good in pretty much every area. He's just not dynamic. Now, again, is he overpaid? Probably so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But
Okay, so
Your best
EM,
ability needs to be availability.
I hear you. That's legitimate.
what do you think the next bomb then?
I would say Bobby McCain.
Wow, really?
Yeah, bro, I do.
Isn't he only making like
That's
slot money though?
Bro,
He's making like 5 or 6.
We're not going to have anybody to play safety. Then what are you going to have?
Oh.
Come on, Frazier, bro. It's your time.
Hang on. I told y'all the reason I've been telling y'all all year. Well, not all year, but about a month now. Telling you, Needham is he's the next cornerback conversion to safety. I'm telling you.
But do you really want to make it like it's going to be another COVID year? Like,
what do you mean? How?
It is.
How?
COVID
What do you mean another COVID year?
It's not like the vaccine would be. I mean, we don't really know how off season going to go.
I don't get how is COVID relevant in this particular scenario? How is that relevant?
He's talking about far
about like training camp and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't really know how the off season is going to go yet.
Bro.
It might just be the same thing, and we gotta. I don't know. That's just
I don't know if Reason put that report up there, but we talked about this earlier about those report about the Dolphins are looking for an upgraded him, a more rangy guy, a better playmaker. That's it. That's Nick Needham. But I could be wrong. I could be off base. I just don't think so. This is the biggest indication to me. You have, again, whatever your opinion of Needham is, he was a top 5 player at that position last year.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
He only had one bad game, the last game of the season, and the whole defense had a bad game. So, and you saw the reports come out about Noah Igbenogany will be given every chance to man that position. Yep.
Why would you do that? Why would you mess with a player that's performing at a top 5 level relative to that position? Unless you're moving him. You know he ain't going to the boundary. You know he's not going to the boundary. He's going to free safety. They had a lot of success with Eric Rowe with that conversion. They had a level of success with Bobby McCain with his conversion. He's just a better athlete
Bro,
we can all agree he's a much better athlete than Bobby
I'm gonna
McCain,
start calling you Amsterdamus, bro, because you called that like last offseason on this channel, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
It's not. And me and you also called X them stick. We both wanted to see them stick with X for one more year because we knew he'd ball out with Byron, and then they would try and dangle him in trade talks, And here we are, bro.
2021 was a year. We both said that. 2021 was a year to move is to move off of him.
Do you see us cutting or trading Byron?
How much do we save?
No, you're not cutting Byron. You're not cutting Byron Jones.
No, he meant Bobby. He meant Bobby.
Oh, Bobby. Well, I mean, what's his trade value? To be honest with you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not much.
Well, so I seriously doubt a team would trade for him and take on. You know, he doesn't have a big contract, but
would it be for the safety position or corner position?
Nah, but he's done at corner, bro. He never was. I don't get
he was
this
a slot guy, right?
I don't know why you got a big portion of our fan base was so high on him as a corner, bro. He was okay at best.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying because some other teams.
He's done at corner. He's done at corner.
I'm wondering about the void though, as far as depth in the safety position.
Kavon Frazier, baby. It's Kavon Frazier time, bro.
Now I think the Dolphins would. I do think they'll draft a player. It's not going to be early. If they identify a player with the versatility that they covet, they'll address that later in the draft. But I don't think a high pick will be exhausted. I just don't think. I could be wrong.
Well, it's a pretty deep safety draft too, right?
Exactly.
And here's the thing: if you cut him this year, his base, like his cap hit, is $7.4 million, and he only has a dead cap of 1.48. Like, and for example, his dead cap last year was 7.7, the year before 11.5, and the year before that 10. So this is the year, and then his dead cap next year is like 740,000. So and his cap hit is 7.74 million. So this is the year to move off him if you're going to, because it creates almost $6 million in cap.
That's half your that's half of the money you're gonna have to pony up for Aaron Jones.
Buddy, never mind Aaron Jones. I want Corey Linsley, baby. We're clearing it, baby.
Yeah.
And if they address the trenches, I'll be happy.
They're going to be aggressive. It's just, again, I told you, it's only two scenarios. It's either Deshaun Watson narrative, or they're just going to have a repeat of what they did last year in terms of their level of aggression in free agency.
Yeah.
So,
shout out to Finn's.
It's here. It's here, baby. It's here.
$13.99. He said, "Just seeing. Thanks, homie. 6 side." Yeah. So, what's the thing? Like, do you think? Okay, we can all agree they're probably not done cutting contracts. Nope. Do you think they're going to try and restructure guys like Flowers, and he'll fall into the same thing? Like, no, they're not going to cut him because his dead cap is like over 10 million this year. But do you think they're going to say restructure or we trade you?
Oh, absolutely. They should. Any player that underperformed, absolutely. Hey, they're getting that call. They're getting that. You know, you remember on Donnie Brasco where Sonny Black, he got that call. You know what I mean? After Donnie the feds had made it known that Donnie Brasco was a Fed. Yeah. And he got that call. Well, I got the call for a sit down. Well, yeah, anybody that underperformed, they need to get that call, bro. Period.
Dude,
so Flowers is at the top of the list.
Oh yeah, for sure. That Flowers needs to be plucked, brother. You know, the whenever you bring that movie up, bro, the only thing I can think of is when Pacino's in the car with him, and he's like, you don't get called in when you're a made man, and like he's implying that he's about to get knocked off and stuff like that. I always go back to that. It's such a great movie, bro.
Oh yeah,
such a fantastic movie.
Classic.
Hopefully, there's a guy waiting at the side of the doorway when Flowers walks through the door, bro. That's all I'm hoping. God,
they're gonna push him down the steps and unload on him. Look, bro. Man, that's funny, bro. That's funny. But yeah, they should. Anybody underperformed? Oh yeah, we need to have a conversation. So that's what's happening, bro. They're trying. They're freeing up this space. They're not just freeing up these cap dollars just to sit on that money. You heard Chris Greer last year. We're not creating this level of flexibility to just sit on a pile of money. No, we have a plan. And again, I think this plan is being placed. We're just seeing the preliminary stages of that execution of that plan. We're seeing it right now, but it's here. It's
but
just
like,
a question of.
I gotta give Flores and Greer like a little round of applause for the testicular fortitude they're showing with this move, man. Like, they're
absolutely.
saying, we had the 6th best scoring defense. It was number 1 or number 2 when we walked into the Buffalo game. And you know what? We're fine with getting rid of a piece like that. We can replace it. Like, that's ballsy, bro.
Confidence, yeah.
Like,
And
that
you would
tells
think
me
both
X
of
and
them are my
Byron are
favorites, right?
that tells me X and Byron are probably the only, and I think they're gonna try and pay X. You know, I think X and Byron and X for now. I think they're the only two guys they wouldn't be willing to trade unless X forced their hand.
And just the team as a whole, you would think you coming off it'd be different if you're coming off a 4-win season.
Yeah,
But this is a 10-win team, and they're like, no, it's not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough.
You know,
So they're telling you. So they're sending the message that number one, it wasn't good enough, and two, something big is here. Something big.
better not be Deshaun Watson.
It tells me that the covered linebackers wasn't good enough, and that's why they said take a hike.
That's true too.
You know what?
That's true too.
Think about it.
I do think AVG is better in coverage. Anyways, go ahead, Yawa.
I was going to say, in years past, man, would have been stuck with these contracts, you know?
I love the way they restructured. I just wish they would have front-loaded Flowers' contract, bro.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah, it's you can't win them all, but at least I agree.
My thing is, Kyle Van Noy is a better NFL player than Flowers, so why didn't Flowers get the same treatment?
Right.
It just feel like old teams always just held on to them players too long. Now when it's time to go, it's time to go.
I'm telling you,
I love it. 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 You don't hang. You do not get emotionally tied to these players. You don't do that. That's
unless they're generational. And
exactly.
You know
unless
what I mean?
They're Dan Marino.
Yeah.
You don't get emotionally tied to these
Ricky.
players. You just don't.
Or Ricky. Yep.
Or Ricky.
Is there any way you can get rid of Gesicki and get like trade value?
I wouldn't trade him.
You could definitely get a second for Gesicki.
No,
I wouldn't trade him.
I wouldn't trade him
for a team that's like so dire for weapons.
And we can all agree that Gesicki is not a finished product, but the dude is giving you top 5 production relative to his position. You just don't want to just that's not easily to replicate. That's not like people want to get rid of Devontae Parker. This dude is a 1,000-yard receiver. When healthy, that's a big if, right? He would have been this year. He was what 200 some odd yards. You know, away from
capable too. Would have had a good season.
Yeah, I think he had 763 yards this year, and he was only playing at like 70%.
So you just want to just disregard that production, and you think it's going to be easy to replicate, bro?
Not saying that, but it'd be easier if he was available.
That's Mike. I'm not gonna lie.
I ain't trying, Damien. Much love, but I ain't trying. Much love to you, home, but I ain't trying to hit that. No, we gonna no. Every time you bring that foolishness up, we gonna go up. You hear me?
It ain't foolish. It's fact.
No,
I'm more and underproduced more than he has. Having 1,000-yard season, he's always hurt.
Since he got drafted in 2015, he has been up and down.
Listen. That is true, but I'm saying relative to 2021 because you don't want to minimize to his options. You want to add to that.
But he can't stay on the field to be an option.
Okay, no, bro.
But okay.
Don't say that.
Okay, I gotta give
800 yards production, bro.
I gotta give DVP props. Okay, you know what? Here's the thing. I gotta give DV props because he tried his damnedest to play through them, and before his 1,000-yard season 2 years ago, he never did that. He would just shut it down.
True.
That was gay.
True.
And he gave
I know.
And he gave you almost 800 yards production, bro.
And he's at
you
70%.
take that?
Just couldn't give us those 16 games because he just can't stay healthy. I'm just saying, like,
you have a legit argument, Damien. But the thing is, we talk about no depth at like safety and linebacker. Like, do we even need to talk about the depth at wide receiver?
I couldn't. It went out.
Oh, can you hear me right now?
I agree, and I've always I couldn't hear you. Could you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
I just said we were talking about like the no depth at linebacker and safety. I said, do we even need to talk about the no depth at wide? Like, I would be more inclined with because you make valid points. No one up here is disagreeing with your
no
point.
doubt, no doubt.
It's just all of a sudden, think of it. We're already in a position where I think everyone up here would be fine if we sign a receiver in free agency, then we take another receiver in the first or the second, and then we double up later in the draft. So we're all okay with 3 bodies. If we take one on day 1 or day 2, and then we take another one on day 3, and then we sign one. So that's with Bowden and DVP and Preston already on the roster.
And I'm totally in agreement with that. EM knows this as well as you. I'm not taking away from DVP's talent.
Yeah.
I've always said that I hope I'm wrong about DVP. I hope I'm wrong. But my thing is this. The inconsistency is so much that him being this number 1 receiver for the last year, we've all been talking about we need to get this replacement. He's supposed to be in the prime of his career. We can't
You just want Rashad Bateman. Tell us the truth. You just want Rashad.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes,
I said to EM privately, like we talked twice today, and we talked earlier this morning, and I said to him, I said, bro, if they have any inclination to get off of DVP, buddy, Rashad Bateman, if he goes out there, runs a 4.37 or a 4.39 at 6'2", 210 pounds, I'm okay with that being the replacement. But I got to go back to this for a sec. Like, see, the thing is, if we hold him to that standard, then we got to cut Preston.
Yeah, but the only thing is with Preston is, Preston right now is dirt cheap. He's dirt cheap.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good point. Yeah.
And I would say I like, and I might be in a minority here, but I like Preston Williams' upside probably.
Oh no, you're in the majority.
As high as any receiver in the league. To be honest with you,
you're in the majority.
I think he has that kind of ability. I truly believe that.
If it wasn't for
I'm pretty sure we all think that.
He would have been a first round, a second round pick out of Colorado State. It was
You know what? Can I say
he was mocked in a lot of people's boards. He must
like
have
a second round pick. He was in like a second round. The worst I saw was the second.
Yeah, I even saw him in the first, bro.
Yeah, it was issues. The
domestic. The domestic.
Yeah,
bro,
so
he must have been.
You're in the majority. Bro.
For him to slide all the way out of the draft.
But he must have been pimp slapping hoes on those streets. Like Wayne Brady, bro. He pulled up like Wayne Brady.
Something.
Look at slap a hoe. Look at Randy Moss. Moss.
But he was still first round. But this dude slid out of the entire draft.
Yeah.
Look at Micah Parsons. This might happen.
Michael Parsons.
And I'll counter my own self. Obviously, we all can agree before he got hurt, Tua clearly was making Preston a top priority.
Yeah.
But then, I'll keep bringing this up because I don't hear anyone talk about it. Was I the only one impressed by the chemistry him and DVP created and how many flags they drew?
Mm-hmm.
Tua looked like a veteran with how he understood the coverage and the leverage game on DVP, saying, he's got this, man. If I throw it there, I'm getting a flag at worst.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was veteran stuff by Tua and DVP, man.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And I'll go even further. You manage to get a guy like Waddle, and you double up with that boy Rondell, and you slide them on one on each slot, and then you got Preston and what are you doing against
It's a wrap.
us?
There's no way you defend that, bro. There's no way.
Every level of the
that.
field is ready for attack.
Right.
Every level of the field.
Yep. And then go the empty set and put Gesicki up there too. That man going up the steam. What are you doing now, bro?
We'll have Aaron Jones in free agency. Have that running game going. Open up the field.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking. That happened if the offense gets up to speed. We're talking about what 12, 13 win team, perhaps maybe.
We're at least in the divisional round. If the offense catches up, we're in the divisional round.
Oh,
I mean, really?
I think we're going to. Listen, if we sign Lindsley, draft Panay, if God bless them, they get Tooney, and then we just add Waddle, Moore, and Aaron Jones. Dude, we are going to win 14 games, and we are going to go to the AFC Championship.
Yep. Oh my God,
Mahomes type lead.
My God.
EM's about to pass out right now.
Seeing stars.
My God. Oh,
yeah.
my God.
If that happens, I'm putting $500 on the Dolphins going to the Super Bowl before the season starts. Just to see what happens.
God.
Just to see what happens. If that's not going to happen, I'm putting some money on that. But
again, I know this is, any other year, this might seem like a Madden Ultimate Team type approach. But this is the year, again, because of the surplus, if they create the additional capital and obviously the cap dollars as well as the draft capital, you can do unconventional things like this.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Be smart about it. But you can do that. You got a surplus. You've got an embarrassment of riches. So,
man,
and it looks like all indications that they're going to do that. It's going to be the approach again. So
let's see how Chris Greer cooked this up, man. If Chris Greer puts everything together, it's going to get serious.
So we can pretty much say that we're going to be one of those teams that's going to be active within the first 2 days of free agency because of these.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. About 12, 13.
We have to be
12, 13 days away. Yeah.
I think, what though, to be honest with you, I think even, these deals they probably already have the players that they covet probably on a wink type of agreement deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to wait until the 15th before it becomes official.
I think Aaron Jones is that first chip. I think Aaron Jones is going to be the first domino to fall.
And his teammate right behind him.
And then Corey Linsley right out.
That'll be beautiful. Beautiful.
So Albert Wilson's gone, right? I mean, after they cut Van Noy, that kind of makes me feel like, why would they bring Albert Wilson back if they cut somebody like that?
I would rather get rid of Grant before Wilson. That's just me.
I would too. I would too.
I didn't mention Grant because, of course, that's
obvious.
I think Jakeem Grant. That's pretty much the writing's on the wall. That's a foregone conclusion.
Let him go to Kansas City.
I gotta ask, Rhino, you just rolled out of bed.
The great Rhino,
and you got the notification. Did you stop brushing your teeth or did you collapse to the floor?
I don't have any teeth left. I don't have any toothpaste left. What the hell, dude?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They're not playing around with anything.
Nope.
No.
Gotta love it.
And I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it, Rhino. I showed what's his face, Barry Jackson. He put out a report and said that according to his source, they didn't approach him about a restructure. But Cameron Wolf, who was also the first to report that the talks were going on before it actually did go down, because you can see right here, he said he could be a potential cap casualty. If you go down here, he says, I'm told a pay cut, i.e. restructure, was discussed with Van Noy, who is prepared to move on. So you got conflicting reports. And then before this, because this Cameron Wolf report came out before Barry Jackson's, if you go...
I'll hear that.
Whoa, that's heavy. That's heavy.
Not me.
And then I don't know if you've seen this yet, Rhino. Right before, it's like he got close to the PR and was trying to save place. This came out. He said, I'm surprised and disappointed in the decision. As a captain, I gave my all to the team. I fought through a painful hip injury during the season, including spending a night in the hospital after a game. We wondered why he was guilt tripping us. I was brought there to be a leader, and I know my teammates look up to and respected me. I'm looking forward to making an impact on my next team on and off the field. So, yeah, what are your thoughts, Rhino? You there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had myself on mute. I'm completely shocked, dude. I cannot. Did he really have that bad of a season?
Well, the question we've posed was the hip injury that serious?
Oh, that's a good point.
And Rhino, we remember how tough the beginning of the season was for him, right?
Yeah, we do.
Right, whiffed on the Cam Newton stuff. The guys brought up a good point. Remember, Josh Allen ran him over.
Yeah, well, the thing to me, this is like, man, they don't waste any time moving on. Let's just say make that clear. If they feel they need to move on from someone, they're gone, bro. They're out at light speed.
Pyro.
Howard,
they're not playing.
Van Noy, no.
What's this news right here? You read this? What Soto said. Packers GM said they're tagging Jones just now.
Are you serious?
What's that?
I don't know. I'm just saying what somebody in the comment just stated. This is terrible. This is
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Packers.
Okay, cool. Damn, really?
This is horrible. I hope it's not true. This is horrible.
Soto. That's the one who posted it.
So, I know reasons on.
I'm looking right now. You guys talk it up. I'll see if I can find it.
That's horrible.
I hope that's not true.
I see
Pyro somewhere is smiling.
the
right
Packers
now.
GM on back here.
I'm right here, man, dude.
You gotta be happy.
You heard me, Reason?
No, well,
I can't. Go
let
ahead.
me
What?
just react to what's
I
going
found
on.
it. It's on Ian
Nice
Rappaport.
avatar, Pyro.
Hold on. Ian Rappaport? Okay, hold on. I'm bringing it up. Okay, go ahead, Pyro.
Dang, really?
I'm just in shock, bro. I seen this. I seen your title. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm really shocked, man. And I just turned on ESPN and they're talking about it. Like Rhino said,
Wow.
they're not playing around right now.
He did post it.
And here it goes. Ian Rappaport, the Packers GM on running back Aaron Jones potentially being a franchise tag candidate. Gudenkunst, that's the worst name ever, says it's not an organizational philosophy to eschew the franchise tag, although he says there are usually better ways to avoid it. He says he'll use the franchise tag on Aaron Jones if that's what's best for the Packers. It's very much case by case.
Okay, so it's not guaranteed.
No, that's not a guarantee.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
not a
that's
guarantee.
not guaranteed at all. They're not.
And
Hey,
I'm sure.
keep having that denial, Damon. Keep having that denial, my friend.
Not in it, bro.
Well, you got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Reason and Ian.
They released Van Noy, bro. They released Van Noy. What the hell?
Not a cold moment.
That hurt.
Listen, I was up here fixing me a sandwich, and I'm seeing this going down. I'm like, what the heck? What's going on here?
You know where my mind goes to? My mind goes to X, man. How are they going to handle X? If they're willing to move on from Van Noy like that. I don't know.
Well, no. They're not going to be. They're not eager. Trust me, they're not eager to move away from Xavier Howard.
And this could be to free up money to give X, right?
Yeah,
it could be.
There you go.
I just don't think. I do think though it's on the table. I don't think they're going to get to make him. They already made him the highest paid once.
But they won't play around though, EM. That's my point. If they have to, they will.
Oh yeah. For sure. They're not.
Wow.
Again, they're not eager to get rid of him, but
I
they
agree
will.
with
They won't
everybody.
hesitate.
I agree with everybody that X is more important to this defense than
agree.
Van Noy.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because him and Byron Jones, that tandem.
Those are the
is
only two
essential.
that would be untouchable for me on this
Right.
defense.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
essential. That's essential for this defense right now.
In 2021. In 2021.
In 2021,
Agreed.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Well, now we need a linebacker.
I'm putting AVG in that category. I just see
I
the
was
talent.
thinking
just
that
don't-
too.
I'm not touching those three. I'm putting AVG.
Well,
in that category.
I would put Ogba in that category as well.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well, here's my thing with Agua.
You just got to pay him.
Yeah, I'm not for. That he get 13, 14 sacks this year, then I'm all in. But
I don't look at his sack total. I look at the other value he brings just in the run game alone. I keep telling y'all, he is an interior player, bro.
Right.
He's not a primary edge guy.
Yeah, they didn't use him right.
And he gave you that kind of production, bro, from an interior player. That's unreal. I keep telling y'all that.
I understand.
His value is so much more than pressures and sack totals, bro. So much more.
I'm just
And he's
for,
that bend and that strength he has, bro. He can beat you with head on with strength, or he can beat you with his bend and his athleticism.
You should listen to his interview with Travis Wingfield the other day. Man,
I haven't heard it. Was it good?
Oh, absolutely. Well, he basically they were just highlighting, not to stick our chests out, Reason, but they were highlighting a lot of things that we've been saying since day one about this player and just his role in his defense. I was like, bam, 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 bam.
Remember? I'm pretty sure that was
like, damn.
I'm pretty sure that was both of our favorite signing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you're
Absolutely.
right, EM. I can't look at the sack total because I predicted double digits and he missed by freaking 1, bro. And I was like, but bro, he's just that guy's a mismatch nightmare, bro.
He is.
Yeah.
And again, they could this vet, the money they're freeing up, he's due for a contract next year. They might be trying to get out ahead of that and re-up him as well.
Yeah. So if you're gonna cut him, obviously we can agree. Instead of taking 9.75, you would hit him as a post-June designation for that extra, $3 million to take it to $12.5 million of savings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all agree with you that instead of just like getting rid of him.
Yep.
Right.
Like let's be honest, guys. They're exploring a trade. You really think they're gonna at that contract? And now that we've shown our hand, you really think someone's gonna pony up anything for him?
No,
Probably not.
Nope.
Like you could send him back to New England.
And that's where I think he's going. That's exactly where he's going.
U.S. Hightower.
He'll take a pay cut with New England. He'll take a pay cut with New England. He'll go back there. That's exactly where he's going.
Yeah. And if he'll take a pay cut to play on that crap team and not to go for a chip, then good riddance is what I say to that guy, bro.
Like, listen, we clearly trying to build something here, and you really want to just go and take a pay cut and go crawling back to Belichick? Come on, bro.
He'll be able to double dip in terms of his contract.
Yeah,
I'm going one. I want to go one by one. All right, one by one through you now. Okay, don't give me long-winded answers because I got to go through 9 of you. Okay, here you go. Is this move to clear way for Watson's contract or to splurge in free agency, Martin?
Free agency.
Powerhouse.
Definitely free agency.
Z-Man.
Free agency.
Oh, you said that with a sigh.
And that hesitation, man.
Yeah, I know it. We know where your heart's really at.
Well, newsflash.
It just gives us versatility. It gives us versatility. That's all I get.
Newsflash. I'm gonna be hesitant with mine, so get ready for it. But go ahead.
All right, I'll save you for last then. Esteban, what do you think? This is for Watson or free agency?
Free agency.
Damien.
I hope free agency.
Oh, he throws the dial. Oh, you got him on shook, EM. You got him on shook.
No, I'm
freaking Damien.
I understand what EM's saying.
Justin, what do you think? Is this for free agency or a Deshaun Watson move on the horizon?
This is for free agency.
Rhino.
No idea. It could be for both, but I think free agency.
Look what you created, EM. You created all these hitters.
Reza, you should have told everybody to take them Homer hats off first and then ask them the question. That's what you should have did. But go ahead, continue. But go ahead.
Chris Sims. I mean, sorry. Najee. I mean, sorry. Pyro. Is this for free agency or Deshaun Watson?
Oh my God, definitely free agency, man.
All right,
gotta clear this up now.
Drum roll,
clearly
please.
has his own.
Drum roll, please, for the answer we've all been waiting for. EM, you have the right to have a long-winded answer. Go ahead. Let's hear this one.
I'm taking 2 deep breaths right now. 2, not 1, but 2.
Take 3.
I would say I do think it's free agency, but I do think the Watson story is a lot bigger than what we realize. I truly believe that.
Yeah,
I just do. And then again, man, I'm just telling you, I'm evaluating this potential situation as objectively I possibly can. Emotion is not part of this. With me, it's not. And I'm just saying, I just think from an overall team perspective, I think we're shortchanging the talent that we have. In the event we have to pony up the draft capital to get him, I think we're shortchanging a talent that we already have in place, the foundation that we have in place. And I think a player of his skill set, how impactful he is, being able to impact the game from the pocket and also improvisationally, the impact that he could have on his offense would greatly kind of diminish the value that we have to give up for him. And I just think overall he could have that type of an impact. We've seen it before. Players go to certain teams and they transform that franchise. And again, it's not anything personal with Tua. I love Tua. Me and Reason love Tua more than anybody. We all know that. But I'm looking at things from a logo perspective. And at this point in time, we're sitting here in 2021. Deshaun Watson is 3 times a player Tua Tagovailoa is. We're hoping Tua can get to that level. 1.5 years older than him. It's a no-brainer with me. It's a no-brainer with me.
And isn't his cap hit this year only like 15 million? It jumps next year, right?
Yeah.
You just made me think of something.
And they said next year, because of the new media deal, the cap could go as high as 215 next year.
Oh,
and it's an extra
it's
there's your 30
explode.
million. There's your 30 million, right?
And he said he restructured his contract.
And he said and again, off the field, him and Tua are very similar, bro. I love what they stand for, not on the field, but off the field as well. Both of them. So men of faith, they're unapologetic about it. They wear it on their sleeves. They're both active in the community. Look at you research, and I know a lot have been put out about Deshaun Watson. I don't know who said that. Who was that? That was Esteban. I think I had to check about that foolishness he brought up here the other day. I said, bro, if you gonna tell one side of the story, tell the whole truth. Did they report about when he gave away his 2 first game checks to people that work in the work as cooks? You're not all of how active this player is in the Houston community. They ain't telling that though.
Yeah, Esteban. That's why he needed the $100 for the signature, because he gave his 2 play paychecks. He's like, yo, I gotta recoup it.
Yeah.
I got a question, y'all, for EM and Reason.
Take what I say with a grain of salt, because this came from a Houston Texans fan that I personally don't know. And I said I was not making that statement.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying.
No, we're just joking. We're just joking.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking right now. You know. Yeah. You know, we talk about this privately. You know.
Yeah.
So he has shown to be a good dude off the field, but I don't really know him. So
yeah. Damien, what were you gonna ask, brother?
I got a question because EM just got me thinking. Number one, I'm a Tua guy all the way through. I done bought a lot of Tua merch. I love Tua. Tua's my guy, but I'm a Dolphin fan through and through. But I'm just listening to what EM proposed, and I'm looking at it from another perspective, taking my Homer hat off, because I gotta take my Homer hat off, and my being a Tua fan, because I am a Dolphin fan, true and true. And from the football look at it, if we were to be trying to accumulate more money, because in free agency now we would have to address needs because we can't do the draft in the top end of the draft. Then I'm looking at, okay, where as far as the line, if we address the running back position in free agency with the line, because Watson is so mobile and he's a step ahead as far as breaking down NFL defenses, could we now just plug Jesse Davis at tackle, had push Hunt back in? And so
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about Jesse Davis, but
just let me finish. I'm asking.
Go ahead.
As far as getting away with it this year, because Davis is more effective at the tackle position, and we can put Hunt back inside where he's more effective, and so then we could address the needs as far as getting maybe those skill position players just to mask deficiencies for this year, especially when Watson is said that he's willing to restructure. If we were to go that route, I'm looking at it now. I'm trying to look at it from every scenario, being a Dolphin fan, not just being a Tua fan.
Damien, let me jump in. I forgot to add this, and I think people have totally lost sight of this story. Pre-draft leading up, right? All of those reports about Chris Greer they were willing to trade 3 first-round picks to go up to the number 1 spot to select a unproven commodity. Do you really think he is going to hesitate? If they're really listening to trade offers, do you really think he's going to hesitate to get a player like Deshaun Watson?
See, EM.
Come on, man.
Not that we have a quarterback.
EM, you've kind of messed me up, because I didn't hear the story about him willing to restructure. Out of all the news I've been fed, out of all the articles I've read, I didn't see that one.
He put that out. That was one of the.
That's been out since the beginning.
Well, bro, there's so much
you gotta.
There's so much you have to siphon through, bro. Like Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. So I guess that's, bro. That's why you've seen me since you guys have been talking, sitting back, because I'm like, if this guy's willing to restructure, that's a totally different ball game right there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you again.
Ignorant. Because guys, ignorant is not a bad word. Ignorant means you're not educated,
uninformed.
To the subject. Uninformed. Okay. I didn't know that. So now I'm sitting back here. I'm like, yo, if this guy says he's willing to restructure down to like 35-ish million, and you're jumping up from 185 to 215 next year, that's his fucking contract, bro.
Then we just take care of him later on. We take care of him later on.
Reason. I mean, and this is not, no, I'm not trying to insult anybody like that.
No, I agree with you. I think it's for free agency, but you've made a point. If it could be, like, I believe this is for free agency, but now hearing this restructure stuff, it wouldn't surprise me.
You can't tell me, you cannot sit here and tell me, okay, if Deshaun Watson is on this team in 2020, you cannot tell me this is not a 13-win team. There is the way I'm talking about his impact, his approach to the game, his style, okay, him being completely acclimated to the NFL game in general, the playmaker he is. There is no way you cannot convince me this is not a 12 or 13-year team, 13-game win team in 2020. There is no way you can convince me of that. Absolutely no way.
I probably 11. I don't think 13.
In 30 days.
So check this out.
Hold on. With this roster forming the way it's forming, with 2 at the helm, I already expect 12.
Yeah, in 2021, but I don't think in 2020 we were.
Bro, they win.
No, I
we can agree.
We were going to make the playoffs, definitely.
We can agree. We can agree. We win that Denver game hands down. It's probably not even close, right?
Yeah.
The first Buffalo game at home, we were in control of that game in the fourth quarter. There's 2 wins right there. So you had 12 right there.
And that Seattle game.
And that Seattle game.
Yeah.
And that Patriots game.
Those red zone deficiencies.
There's no way you cannot tell me the Dolphins do not win at least 3 of those games. There's no way.
You mind if I throw just one caveat out there?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Normally, whenever you see defenses, and it doesn't matter whatever level we're playing on, high school, college, NFL, whenever you see dominant defenses, more than likely those defenses are reflected from whether it be stagnant or struggling offenses. So as far as defense is concerned, our defense reflected how poorly or not as efficient of an offensive threat we were, which contributed to us saying, okay, if our offense just got it together, maybe we can, do what we need to do. Every offensive juggernaut, if you look at like past Super Bowls or what have you, their defense has always struggled. The 2013 Denver Broncos team broke all types of records. Defense couldn't stop Russell Wilson in the second year in the Super Bowl. So I'm just saying, when you have a Deshaun Watson at the helm, yes, that creates a new style of play. It generates more points, but it also gives the defense a kind of
playing differently,
right.
Yeah.
It's almost an automatic, like, okay.
I think the only game that he listed, that we might have actually still lost, and it wouldn't actually have been on Deshaun Watson. It would have been on our offensive line, because let's be honest, it wasn't to his fault. Well, I mean, he didn't play or whatever, but that Denver game, our offensive line was a freaking disaster. Now, his ability to improvise and make plays and make throws outside of the pocket, I could very well be wrong, but that's the only game out of all the ones that EM listed that you could be like, yeah, maybe we would have won, or maybe would, and that's because not even on Watson, that would have been on the offensive line.
But look, but listen, let me address this point. I'm assuming now, I think this is the point you're trying to make. If you have an efficient offense, bro, and you have a dominant defense, that benefits the defense more. If Deshaun Watson comes here and we're more efficient, we can control the clock more, that's benefiting the defense. And if we can play with a lead more, if we can actually generate points and we start to play with a lead, we saw how dominant this defense was when we play from a lead. We can all agree with that. So if you have an offense that can actually control the clock, efficient, and establish a lead earlier on, how many times 3 and out? We would go entire halves without scoring points, right?
Yes.
But that benefits the defense more than you can see a more dominant version of your defense if you have a more efficient offense, bro. It changes your strategy completely when you're playing with a lead than playing from behind. Completely changes your strategy from a defensive standpoint. So you're more aggressive when you got a lead. You're more aggressive. You're willing to take more chances.
I understand the strategy part, but I'm strictly referring to like the defensive mindset when you know your offense is going to be struggling. Like defenses come out with a different mindset. Like, yo, we're going to have to be the ones to come out and really dictate the flow of this game. But when you have an offense that can go out there and generate points on a drive-by-drive basis, trust me, man, as a defensive unit, you do kind of, let go of that, whether it be the gas pressure in the quarter. Right. Perfect word.
Flores won't allow that. He ain't gonna allow that.
I would hope not. But I'm just saying that's what I saw out of our defense last year, like how they knew a rookie quarterback like Tua, like even from Tua's first start, everybody had his back, like defense, special teams. Like you can tell they was playing, knowing that this is our rookie quarterback's first start. We got to come out here and win this game. So,
but I think if you got a player that's producing at that level, Deshaun Watson, bro, players will be more inclined. Even that would go up 2 notches, I would think, because you have an established player. And again, you have a player that can put points on the board, bro. I'm telling you, we saw this, the level of defense, the level of play when we were playing from behind, when we were playing with a lead. Telling you, bro, you would even see a better version, in my opinion.
And I know people keep bringing up the Bear Jackson report, but guys, Cameron Wolf, he was the first on this even happening before it happened, like literally about a half hour before it happened. He was already on top of it. He reported, I showed y'all that we did approach him. But here's the thing. First of all, happy birthday to my quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah,
Second of all, did you see this yet? This man on his birthday. Happy birthday to the man, Tua. I've always believed that hard work, consistency, and self-belief are the best ingredients for success. You clocked in 3 hours of work on your birthday. Proud of you, homie. Blessed to be a part of this journey. And then, you see him with the cuts. You see him there. That man is working right now, baby.
Absolutely.
So that's the
I don't understand what you mean by if they try to approach him, that makes it more likely they're trying to get Watson. I don't understand that logic. To me, it would be the opposite.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Rhino?
If the Dolphins went to Van Noy to talk about a possible restructure, to me, that tells me that they're looking to try to keep him, and they weren't trying to get a massive amount to clear and cap to bring in any player. They were just trying to.
You would have saved $7.6 million with a restructure,
right? But I'm saying I don't see how it sways it either way. Is what I'm saying.
Either way, like I said, it's only 2 options. But at the end of the day, I think Damian hit the nail on the head. Well, if you take the Watson route, you're going to need the additional cap dollars to supplement, because you're not going to have the draft capital to do it. You see what I'm saying? So either way, bro.
Well, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I don't know why that detail sways it either way. Is what I'm saying.
I think it's 50-50 with me at this point, to be honest with you.
Ooh, 50-50.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, bro.
Your structure set me from like a 5% chance to right now I'm at about 75-25. It's for free agency to Watson. So you bumped me up. Hey, you bumped me up 20%. Kudos to you, because that's the highest I've been all year. Bro, you got look at me. I've been sitting here like Albert Einstein smoking on a pipe. What's going on? You know what I mean?
It's not you know what it's going to boil down to? It's going to boil down to if the Texans are willing to entertain a trade, which is the most important thing. And I think the Dolphins are not going to be, now again, are they going to trade 7 first-round picks? Hell no.
No,
let's be real.
No.
But again, I go back to pre-draft.
Carolina worries me because I feel they'd throw everything at them, though, right?
Yeah. They would have to trade 2 whole drafts to outbid the Dolphins.
And Christian
But
McCaffrey.
again, it goes back to what I said. If you think he is willing, he is not going to buy the eyelash to trade 3 first-round picks for Joe Burrow, what the hell you think he going to pony up for Deshaun Watson, bro?
Well, you'd have to believe that report first.
But I know it. But we also got to say this. Can we all agree that the closer it gets to the draft and this doesn't happen, it's probably not happening.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh,
For me,
because
it's free agency.
I already
Free
don't think it's
agency.
gonna happen.
yeah, I agree. It has to
Oh,
happen
you have a
before
good
the
point,
draft.
Rhino. Okay, Rhino
It-
makes a good point. What about before free agency? Because if they create all this cap and they start splurging with it.
Mhm.
It has to be before free agency
Yeah.
or during,
Well,
a couple
We'll
days,
know the
3,
next
4
12
days.
to 15 days. We'll
Well,
know.
well,
Yeah, I
well,
say
well.
Jordan.
I don't think free agency has, unless you're going to Deshaun through backdoor channels and asking for specific players. Your needs are going to be there, whether Tua is at the
No.
helm or Deshaun
I think
Watson.
what Rhino means is if we
The
start
money.
splurging in free agency and let's say we press ourselves up where we only have enough for the draft class and like $5 million on top of that, and we've kind of pressed ourselves up against the cap. You got a bunch of new contracts you can't move. Now we're in a position where you would have to take a DVP and an X off our hands to create more cap for us, plus the draft picks.
Exactly.
But I mean,
Exactly.
but here's the thing. This year Deshaun Watson's cap is
15
only
million.
11 million.
15.
It's 15.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
No,
have to have
but
30 million in
that's
cap
my
space.
point, X. I'm sorry, that's my point. If we press ourselves up against the cap in free agency, then we have to give picks and move contracts in the deals. What I'm saying for it to happen.
Exactly.
I see.
For the Dolphins,
I hear
it
you.
has to happen around that time period for them to make their plans and create a team, is what I'm saying.
No, I think the deadline is a draft for me.
The absolute deadline, absolute deadline.
The deadline is a draft, but even if they press themselves up against the cap, you can always manipulate that number, bro, to fit
That's fair.
anybody's contract.
Especially if he's willing to restructure, right? He could backload it, right?
I'll say this all the
again-
time. Anything's possible at any time. I'll always say that.
Yeah,
So,
really.
man, all I gotta say, he really wants to get out of Houston. That's all I gotta
Yeah.
say.
If this dude is willing to give up game checks, bro, and sit out and get
Man, he wants out. He
assume
wants out bad.
take on all them fines, bro. Oh, bro, it's a
I'll
wrap.
believe it when I see it.
Look at J.J. Watt. Everybody wants to get out of Houston. Houston was offering him more money.
JJ Watt kind
Everybody
of pissed
wants
me
to
off.
get
First of all,
See,
you
I'm
said
at the
you wanna
point
go-
where I want to stick with the plan in place, and I want to just roll with two.
Yeah, I agree.
But I would understand.
I
Again,
understand.
but again, like I've said at 18, I would understand. I wouldn't agree with it in terms of it's too rich with Najee. I would understand why they do it. Same thing with Watson. Do I want to trade Tua? No, but I would understand what they're trying to do.
You can see again. This is a unique, situation the Dolphins are in. Either scenario, bro,
100%.
it's a win-win for the Dolphins. You know what I mean? Because you see, if you stack the team, stack the team with just overwhelming talent. Tua would have to be Josh Rosen level, in terms of his production.
Name.
To bomb, to mess this thing up. You know what I'm saying? He don't have to come out and be Patrick Mahomes, but damn, just don't be Josh Rosen. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the
He didn't
day,
mean
then
it, ball
if you go
game.
with-
He didn't mean it, ball game.
Yeah.
and then if you go the Deshaun Watson route, obviously the offense is going to improve. You know that. So
I'm happy either
it's a
way.
win-win,
man,
bro.
'cause
Let me ask you,
I
Watson
want a winner. I want a winner. Now it'll be sweeter with Tua.
Yeah.
I agree with it'll be much sweeter with Tua. I can stick my chest out all day. All these fools that was been coming for us the last 2 years and calling him a bust. Oh yeah, I would love nothing more than to rub it in their face. But at the end of the day, I want a winner, bro.
My thing is, if they make that trade, the pressure kind of not so much on Flores because we know there's pressure with expectations, but those expectations will still be there, so his pressure will remain. But I think the seat might get a little hot for Greer in terms of you better be able to hit from the second and beyond, bro. Because if you can't and you make this deal and we end up not being able to put the right pieces around him on offense and our defense is once again carrying us, oh man, I could see this ending bad for Greer in about 2 years.
But I will say this: we talk about this privately, reason. The strength of Chris Greer in terms of draft has always been beyond the first round.
But I also told, I don't think I've said this on air yet. I also told you what someone close to the team told me too, right? That I think I told you yesterday, right? Where from what I understand, Greer only does his board up to the 5th round, and then the 6th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th are basically handled by regional scouts in our scouting department, and that's simply because guys, GMs don't have enough time on their hands to watch 250 prospects and the tape on them, right? So I basically been told that, from the 5th and beyond, he kind of leaves it up to the people he trusts the most.
Right.
Which is smart.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So many hours in a day.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, and look at right now. Right now, they're diving into get stuff on guys with free agency, tape on free agents and stuff, right?
Exactly.
They won't really start getting heavy until their free agency class is done, and then it's going to be balls deep. Now, people got to realize throughout the year, your scouting department brings you tape and says, "Yo, watch this guy." So that happens throughout the year, right? So
thank God we have. I tell you, if this thing really turns around the way that we envision it, just the program alone, I tell you, those additions of McKenzie, Marvin Allen, they were huge. You know what I mean? In terms of their role in not only scouting, but also player development, bro. They've had a huge impact. Again, we got to wait and let it see it play out. But the way things are trending, the direction that this team is trending in, I think their presence and their contributions, we as fans shouldn't, we should minimize their impact on the team. So,
guys, there's 413 of you in the room right now. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. If you'd like to donate to the channel, obviously you can go through the PayPal right here, paypal.me/Finside. You can also do it through the super chat. You become a patron. Wow, I've gotten so many patrons in the past night, 12 hours. Appreciate all of you. Patreon.com/Finside the NFL. And then, of course, patchvibes.com. Use code Finside for 20% off your purchase store wide. And then you can grab official Finside the NFL merch, teespring.com/stores/Finside the NFL. All right, guys, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. I got to go out and deal with my daughter right now. So I want to go through final thoughts because there's 9 of you I got to go through. So, Martin, let's get your final thoughts on all the developments today.
Yeah, final thoughts. Kyle Van Noy, really liked him as a person, as a player. But in Brian Flores, we trust, man. I'm never questioning, the front office decision. I'm never questioning Brian Flores.
Trust the flow test, baby.
Trust the flow test. if they let him go, it was for a particular reason and purpose. So I trust it. Fins up.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you for coming on, Martin. Powerhouse, let's get your final thoughts, bro.
Yeah, this kind of shook me up this morning in a good way. I'm excited that we have more money to spend on free agency, whether it's going towards Deshaun Watson or going towards getting Corey Linsley and Aaron Jones. It's a good thing in our future. So looking forward to free agency. Fins up.
I'm gonna tell y'all, if that's true and Aaron Jones could possibly get in franchise tag, because we know that was kind of a vague answer at the end of the day, they better be all in on Corey Linsley. That's all I got to sit here and say. And same thing, he's 29. Give him a 3-year deal. Have an out in year 2. Z-Man, let's get your final thoughts. EM, I'm going to save you for last.
Okay.
I'm pro Tua. If the Watson thing happens, it's whatever. I mean, it's only going to benefit the team. I just want a winner. But winning with Tua would just feel a little bit better, in my opinion. Yeah. And with the Kyle Van Noy thing, I liked him as a player, but upgrades can always be made. Yeah. I didn't think he have a bad season, though.
Yeah, and I'm not, I like the player, but seeing this guy try to post this PR little message, talk about how good he is, a leader is. Come on, get out of here. And then he's kind of guilt tripping us with the whole, why is that? Why are we hearing you were in the night, spending a night in a hospital after a game? What? How is that relative to the situation right now?
That's every freaking player.
God damn, this guy's out. Put your tampon in, Kyle, and go find a new place. All right, Rhino.
Oh, my bad.
No. Yeah, well, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot to go in on, Najee. So we'll give you your moment. Rhino. Najee. Rhino, let's hear your thoughts.
You're muted.
Rhino's still trying to come to after the news he got when he woke up. You there, Rhino? Rhino is MIA. All right, Damien.
MIA.
Your thoughts, buddy.
On the Van Noy thing, leaders don't have to say they're leaders; their actions prove
Exactly.
that. So I'm not losing no sleep over Van Noy. I hope this Aaron Jones thing is not true because I really want him very badly.
Yeah.
Tua is still my quarterback until other things happen. I'm on the Tua train. That's our quarterback. If Watson come, hey, I'm a Watson fan because I'm a Dolphin fan first, through and through. And I hope we get Corey Linsley and Bateman and fins up and go Knicks.
Justin, let's get your final thoughts, buddy.
My final thoughts is when I looked at all the cap numbers ahead of time, I thought something could happen. So I thought they would step with a restructure first and try to shake him down. So when it didn't happen and he said no, I figured he'd be willing to go. And we're not going to lose much with Kyle Van Noy because Andrew Van Ginkel is going to step in his spot and come up. He's ready to take the next step. And looking forward to free agency. And what's up? Fins up.
Appreciate you. Rhino, are you
Great
there?
show, by the way.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks. Are you there, Rhino? Rhino has been abducted by aliens while we're live on YouTube. Pyro.
Got to him, man.
Pyro, let's hear your final thoughts because I'm sure there's going to be plenty of them.
Man, first of all, with Van Noy, I really respect him with the whole, when he was dissing the Miami media and all that. I really had some respect for the guy, but after the statement that he put out, making this organization look bad, everybody on social media is, saying, "Oh, this is a bad look for the Dolphins and stuff." And to me, it's not just it's making a bad look for them. It's for other players, potential players that we could sign. The fact that you're really go down this low and say, "Oh, you put your body on the line," all this stuff, dude. Roberts had put his body more on the line than you have in linebacker position.
Say it again.
Dude had a broken wrist, everything, and still went out there and played.
Got choke slammed.
Yep, got choked. He got choked. Everything. Like, dude, you're not special. Every player who's played this in this sport has got injured once in a while. So I don't know why you're trying to be like a saint and I'm the captain. And man, honestly, I want to say more, but I want to make sure my boy Reese stay monetized.
PG-13.
Yeah,
freak that guy, man. That's low. That's low.
Esteban, your final thoughts on the situation before we get out of here, bud.
Well, I'm still shocked. I'll be honest. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. The whole Kyle Van Noy thing still shocks me, and the whole Watson thing now. I'm over it. I don't really care to think much about it. It hasn't been in the media as much. But damn you, EM. Damn you. That's all I gotta say.
Whoa, don't what you blaming EM? That ain't EM.
Okay, this is what I will say. When you talk to EM and he talks about Deshaun and this whole scenario, you will get mental fatigue. I promise you that. So
Bro, he shook me with the restructure more than Kyle Van Noy shook me getting released, bro.
Fact.
All I gotta say is just stick with what you feel's going on because you will get mental fatigue.
Yeah. Rhino.
Advocate, man. For sure.
Okay, so the aliens returned Rhino. Rhino, let's hear your final thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, this is shocking. I think just at the franchise level, we had so much hope in Van Noy. That's what really shocks me, and I think it's going to be very interesting the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yo, why do I got the feeling like Flores looked at Boyer after he whiffed on the and took the bad angle on Cam, and they're like. And then they looked at each other after Josh Allen ran him over, and they said, "Okay, this guy ain't it, bro." Like, you know what I mean?
I forgot
you know what I mean?
So
they're like, "Yeah, no."
Oh man,
he
All
did
right.
get choked by him though. That was
he did. He did.
Rob got that choke on him. He got
that's on tape.
Yeah.
That's on tape, bro.
All right,
man, that's a highlight.
EM, let's get your final thoughts.
Yeah, bro. It was. I have to be honest. This is definitely a bombshell. When you called me, bro, and I was like, "Bro, stop lying." You said, "No, dude." And then once I got the Bleacher Report notification, I was like, "Wow." It was shocking. The fact that we all knew that the potential restructure was out there, but the cut a player of Kyle Van Noy's stature, First year in his deal or whatnot, that was shocking for us. But at the same time, I'll say again, you have to love the approach of this front office. You know, they're about production, bro. It's a production-based business. And if you're not getting it done, we will get somebody in here that will. And I love it from that. And that applies to every player 1 through 53. So at the end of the day, it was a bombshell. We you know, we'll get over Kyle Van Noy. You know. So at the end of the day, bro, you got to love the approach, and it's all day, every day. You know what it is.
You know what's gonna suck, boys? If Jones gets franchise tagged, and now we're sitting there in a position at 18 with what do? Do you take the Najee or do you go with the linebacker? Because we can all agree Zavin is not a replacement. He's a middle guy, right? More of a replacement would be Parsons that you can use outside in, right? You know what I mean? So we are going to be in a position where this is a kind of a deep linebacker class. Do we take one of the top guys now, or do we take one of the top running backs where after you get past Najee, after you get past Javonte, Etienne, and Gainwell, we can all agree we like Sermon, Jared Patterson, all these guys, but they're a drop-off, okay? They're a drop-off. So you can even make the argument that Etienne and Gainwell, as good as they are, they would probably be in the second tier by themselves, with Najee and Javonte being the only two in the top tier, and then everyone else is in the third and fourth tier behind, right? So, you know, it's gonna be.
Yeah, we just created a hole.
If we're not able to obtain a running back through free agency, that's going to impact our draft more than anything, bro.
I know, because
more than anything.
You know what? And because I don't think they want to miss out on like what they did with JK by letting the board settle it for them last year, right?
DeAndre Swift, JK,
because you'll have a team.
Taylor.
You'll have a team that knows that you have a need at running back, and they'll try to screw you over like what Ravens did.
See, this is why you entertain the trade down. It gives you more ammunition to come back up.
Don't start with me.
I'm telling you, this is why the trade down is the move.
See, my whole thing is I would agree with you, but the problem is I could make the legitimate argument Penei Sewell's the best player in the draft.
This is true.
And that offensive line, and you know what? If we fix that offensive line, well, imagine what Ahmed and Gaskin might be. Gaskin might be a 100-yard guy.
I would agree.
Yeah. Anyways,
either way.
Dude, this is gonna be this. Who would have thought that a Kyle Van Noy release would make this offseason 100 times more interesting?
Bro,
I know, right?
I think it's safe to say all our plans, just like a big gust of wind, just blew every freaking paper everywhere.
Yep. One more question.
I gotta get out of here, bro. I don't have time for that. All right. All right, boys. Bro, I told my wife 7 minutes ago I'm done. All right, fins up all day, every day. I will see y'all on Thursday. All right.
Let's get it, baby. Let's get it.